Welcome to the Old Time Radio Superman Show. This is your host, Adam Graham, coming to you from Boise, Idaho. When last we left Jimmy Olsen and Clark Kent, they were about to see the most amazing thing. To be continued. Now, after that excruciating, can we even call that a cliffhanger as much as just a gimmick to get us to listen to the next show? Well, we're back anyway, and we're going to find out what that is. Before we do, I want to encourage you to continue to cast votes for us at Podcast Alley. Adam, and we got a comment here from Brian Hampton. He writes, Brian in Hampton, New Jersey, he writes, Adam, I continue to enjoy the podcast. By the way, is it just me, or does the stowaway sound a bit like Jimmy Olsen? You're right, and I would not be surprised if they used the same voice actor. Radio shows often will do that. In this case, you'd like your actors, if you're going to use the same actor to do two different voices, it seems you'd like him to have a bit more range, so he doesn't sound exactly like the other kid on the show. But they went ahead and it's possible two kids from similar regions from the same area of the country could sound the same like that, but not necessarily very probable. I encourage everybody to cast their vote. Also, go to Laser and Sword magazine, lasersword.adamsweb.us, where we have another exciting story coming out in the Unknown Mission Saga on Thursday. As A.L. Snyder and a crew of mercenaries are going on a dangerous mission, and you can find out more about it at lasersword.adamsweb.us. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into The Last of the Clipper Ships, Part 17.
Presenting the transcription feature, Superman! Guys, look! It's a plane! It's a plane! It's Superman!
And now, Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, star reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice. Bound on a round-the-world cruise, the Clara M, last of the old clipper ships, slipped silently southward through a heavy fog with Clark Kent and Jimmy Olsen aboard. In our last episode, we heard how Kent and Jimmy solved the mystery of the Whistler when they discovered the strange unearthly whistling was caused by the wind striking a set of wooden pipes concealed in the carved figurehead of the old ship. Shortly after this, they overheard a conversation between Teak Barnaby, peg-legged master of the Clara M, and the stowaway boy, Pug Flanagan. This conversation convinced them that a piece of oil silk found in the secret compartment where Pug Flanagan had been hiding was of great value. As our story continues today, we find Kent and Jimmy huddled over a table in Kent's cabin, feverishly trying to discover the secret contained in the piece of oil silk. Listen.
There now. As soon as I wash the dirt off this part of the oil silk.
Well, what is it?
Well,
What is it, Mr. Kent?
Jim, it's amazing. Here, have a look for yourself.
Yeah, let me look at it. Gosh, I'm so excited. It looks like a map.
It is a map, Jim. A treasure map.
Gee Willikins. Are you sure?
Well, pretty sure. Look, outlined here, just follow my finger now,
Yeah?
is the east coast of Africa.
Huh?
And right here is the Red Sea separating Africa from Arabia. This is the Indian Ocean.
Gee, Africa and Arabia. Red Sea and the Indian Ocean.
Take it easy, Jim.
Take it easy. How can I? A real treasure map. Boy, oh boy.
No, we're not absolutely positive it's a treasure map, not yet at any rate. Now, let's see. Here's an arrow. You can just barely make it out. It's faded so badly.
Yeah?
Points to a bit of land just south of Sumatra.
Sumatra.
Uh-huh.
Oh, golly.
Here's some markings. Let's see if we can decipher them. 15 degrees south latitude
Yes?
by 103 degrees, 20 minutes west longitude.
Uh-huh.
And locate the piece of land. I have to look at a chart to get that exact location, but it's certain, Jim, this piece of land is an island just south of Sumatra.
Sumatra. Whew, that's right near Borneo, isn't it? In Java.
Yes, Jim, the Dutch East Indies.
Oh, gosh, Mr. Kent, this is so exciting. Oh, gosh.
For heaven's sake, Jim, relax. Maybe nothing at all.
Oh, well, you said yourself it might be a treasure map.
Yes, I know, but then again, it might not be. Well, I don't get excited until we're sure.
Oh, but it must be a treasure map. All these strange markings on it, and Barnaby being so anxious to get his hands on it.
Yes, but you never know. Wait a minute, here's something on the other side.
Oh, what's it say?
This is the...
Yeah?
This is the map of Samuel Salt.
Oh, gee willikers, Mr. Kent, read it out loud.
All right, Jim. Here's what it says. Legend.
Legend? Gee, that's sort of old-fashioned, isn't it?
Now, let me read this, will you? Stop interrupting.
Oh, okay, I won't say another word.
Okay. Now then, legend.
Yeah, Mr. Kent?
This is the map which locates the exact spot
Yeah?
where I, Samuel Salt, master of the Clara M.
Clara M.
Master of the Clara M, have hidden the booty and the treasure
Gee.
gathered together by me during years of pirating on the Spanish Main.
Spanish Main? Pirating? Oh, gosh, Mr. Kent.
Wait a minute, Jim. That's not all. This map will locate the island on which the treasure is hidden. Signed, Samuel Salt, master of the Clara M, June 18th, 1887.
Wowee!
It's a treasure map, all right, Jim.
Oh, it sure is. Boy, I never thought anything like this would ever happen to me.
It is exciting, isn't it? But, Jim, now bear in mind that this map doesn't give us much to go on. All it does is locate the island where the treasure is buried.
Oh, gosh, what more do you need?
It may be a pretty big island, Jim. And if it is a big island, it might be impossible to find the treasure.
Oh, don't say that, Mr. Kent. Gee, listen, if we're going around the world, there's no reason why we couldn't go by way of the Indian Ocean, is there?
Well...
There's no reason why we couldn't find that island and have a try at locating the treasure, is there?
I don't know, Jim. It's something to think about.
Don't think too hard on it, matey.
What? Oh, hello, Barnaby.
Oh, Mr. Barnaby.
Where's Pug Flanagan? He was with you, wasn't he?
Send her below the forecastle. But I wouldn't worry none about him if I was you, Mr. Kent. There's more important matters to talk over, as you might say.
More important matters? Such as what?
To put it blunt, such as that map there on the table.
Gosh.
Oh, you've been eavesdropping, Barnaby, huh?
I heard something of what you were saying before I barged in.
Oh, well, good. In that case, I won't have to explain what this is all about.
Explain to me, Chief Barnaby. I could tell you more about that fair map than you learn in a week of Sundays.
Oh, you could.
Hey, I ain't one for mincing words, Mr. Kent. So I'll come right down to the point. I want that map. Well?
There's something in your face, Barnaby, and something in your tone that tells me you plan to get this map regardless of what might stand in your way.
Right you are.
Well, you're not going to get it.
Gosh, Mr. Kent.
You're sailing the wrong course, matey. Before we go any further, I got a few things to say.
Go right ahead. Jimmy and I are listening with bated breath.
Before this here ship, a Clara M, cleared from Metropolis, I went to see a man named White, editor of that there newspaper you're a reporter on. I told him I wanted to buy the Clara M, and I was willing to spend good money to buy the ship.
You wanted to buy the Clara M?
Hey, lad, that I did. I've struck it rich a couple of times in my life, and I'm not exactly a pauper. Well, Mr. White, he wouldn't sell the Clara M. So what did old Teak Barnaby do? He signed aboard her as first mate. Aye, and signed on the crew along with him, paying them out of his own pocket. Now, what would be old Teak Barnaby's reason for doing such a thing, eh?
I've a vague idea.
Well, let me make it clear to you. I knew that map was aboard this here ship. I didn't know where, but I knew it was on board. That's why I wanted to buy the old tub. Not because I'm in love with her lines or the fit of her rigging. You follow me?
Perfectly. Now you want the map.
Right, matey. And I aim to get it no matter what. So you'd best hand it over quiet-like.
Aren't you taking a lot for granted, Barnaby? You hardly think I'm going to hand this map over to you just for the asking.
I ain't exactly asking, I'm telling. With this?
He's got a knife.
Right, lad. Old Teak Barnaby's got a knife. Remember how I showed you a trick with this self-same knife?
Yes, I remember.
Good. Now, this is how it goes, Mr. Kent. The crew is in my pay. Anything happens to you and the lad here can always be explained away. Now, I'm going to ask you once more to hand over that map. Your answer has got to be yes or no. If you say yes, well, it'll go easy with you. If you say no, it'll go hard.
Mr. Kent.
And I ain't going to do no talking about it. Now then, I want that map. Is the answer yes or is the answer no? That's right, Mr. King. Think it over. Because old Teague Barnaby ain't fooling. Well, what is it? Yes or no?
Don't give it to him, Mr. Kent. He's a thief and a coward. He wouldn't dare use that knife.
Oh, wouldn't I? We'll see. This knife, Kent, is pressed against your stomach. Whether you live or not depends on your answer. What's the matter? Lost your tongue? All right, then, you're asking for it?
Yes. The answer's yes, Barnaby. Here's the map.
You're a smart man, Mr. Kent. Now, come along, both of you. The crew's waiting. Come along, lad.
All right, I'm coming. I never thought you were a coward, Mr. Kent.
All right, the three of you, get in there. Stand over there, Kent. You too, Jim.
Oh, and you're no exception, me bloomin' little stowaway. Get over there.
Someday, pal, I'm going to take you apart piece by piece. I'm going to break... Oh!
That'll learn you to speak civil to your elders.
Why, you skinny little...
Stay like that.
Take it easy, Pug. Got us where they want us, thanks to Mr. Kent, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Now you're talking sense, lad. Irish, Lily.
Aye.
Put the manacles and chains on him.
There's no need for this, Barnaby. I gave you the map. What more do you want?
I want to be sure of having no trouble from you. Oh, I ain't so much worried about you, Kent, as these two lads here who might find some way of starting trouble. So it's into irons for the lot of you until I get what I want, and that being the treasure. Irish, Lily, tackle them up.
But it'll take months for you to reach that island and get the treasure, Barnaby.
Aye, and the three of you are going to spend all the time right down here in the brig.
There they are, Barnaby.
Good. All right, Limey and Irish, out you go. And now, gentlemen, I'll be leaving you with pleasant thoughts of the treasure. The treasure that might have been yours.
Now, this is what they call a pretty kettle of fish, ain't it?
Yeah.
Mr. Kent, how come you didn't lay into that old walrus? How come you give up the map so easy, huh?
I thought it was best not to start any trouble.
You mean you were scared? Barnaby was holding that knife against you. You were scared stiff.
You really think that, Jimmy?
What else could it be?
Well, maybe you're right. Maybe I was afraid.
Now, listen, you guys. What we ought to do is start figuring some way of getting out of here.
Oh, forget it. You'll never get out of these chains. What we need now is Superman.
No, Jim. I'm afraid we're just up against it.
Of course, we know what Clark Kent means. That even he, in his guise of Superman, cannot save the situation without revealing his double identity to Jimmy and Pug. Will he find a way? Be sure to hear the next thrilling episode of our story, With Superman.
Tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman. Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman! Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.
Ahoy, mateys. Welcome back. I'm sorry, I just had to get nautical for a moment. I have to love the apparent 1940s definition of coward. Oh, you only gave in because he had a knife to your stomach. I mean, of course, Jimmy Olsen doesn't know that Clark Kent is Superman. If he did, that whole scene would have been a lot less complicated. But now we're left with about 3 parts to go in the series, and the big challenge is how is Clark Kent / Superman going to get them out of this without revealing the double identity? Well, we're going to get a big clue to that on Sunday. Join us back here for Part 18 of The Last of the Clipper Ships. You got any comments on the show, feel free to email Adam at adamsweb.us. From Boise, Idaho, this is Adam Graham signing off.